Welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast with your host, Funk Roberts.
What's going on, everyone? It's the Funkster here, and welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast. This is episode number 68. I'm your host, Funk Roberts. If you don't know who I am, I'm a former professional athlete turned online transformation fitness expert, and I'm known around the world as a guy who helps men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond get into absolutely incredible shape, change their lives, change their body through fitness, through workouts, through nutrition, through recovery, through mindset, but most importantly, helping men naturally increase their testosterone levels so you can be in the best shape of your life in your 40s, the best shape of your life in your 50s, the best shape of your life in your 60s, and the best shape of your life beyond. And today, I'm happy that you're here because today in episode number 68, we're going to talk about how to track your results for success, how to track your fitness results or your weight loss results or your muscle building results so you can have success. Because a lot of times people use the wrong methods, the wrong resources to track their results. And this podcast episode, I'm going to give you exactly what you should be using and what you should not be focusing on when it comes to success. But first, as I mentioned before, I am the guy around the world who helps men completely transform their lives. And I want to help you. So if you go to over40alpha.com, over40alpha, over the number 40 and alpha.com, you can join the Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood and workout program, fitness program for $1. And listen, this program is revolution. Revolution, is that the word? This program is incredible. This is a workout program that has follow along workouts. All you do is click the play button and I take you through follow along workouts, whether with equipment or without, depending on if you have dumbbells. The full nutrition plan specifically designed for men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, so that you can naturally boost your testosterone levels, increase your metabolism, and of course, lose weight, burn that belly fat, get into incredible shape. And it's very easy to follow, very simple to follow. Also, we have recovery strategies, yoga routines, how to get more sleep. The most important thing, though, with this program is the support and coaching. We have the Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood with over, right now, I think we got 2,500 guys in that Facebook group. The support group, the Brotherhood, we have weekly coaching. So you guys know, listen, if you've listened to this podcast, in fact, the podcast episode that you're about to listen to is from one of our coaching calls. So there you go. One of our coaching calls, which we have every week. Listen, if you want to completely transform your life, completely transform your body, get into the best shape, you've been looking for workout programs, you've been using this program, that program, you've been struggling with weight loss, you've been struggling with figuring out how to lose weight, what's going on with my body as I'm 40 years old, why is my metabolism slowing down, why is my energy level slowing down, why when I'm using this diet it's not working, why are these workouts making my joints hurt, why can't I build muscle, why can't I lose weight? This is the program that will answer all of those questions and deliver results. So go to over40alpha.com and join this program. 30 days, $1. Get on it and then join the Brotherhood after, and I guarantee you will not look back. All right, so let's talk about this podcast episode, which is about weight loss and fitness and tracking your results, because most people think it's a scale. And you're going to learn very quickly the scale is probably your biggest enemy. You think it's your biggest ally when it comes to losing weight, but it's your biggest enemy. And you're going to learn why in this podcast episode. And you're going to learn what you should be doing instead, what you should be focusing on instead, all of the things you should be focusing on, and why the scale literally is sabotaging your results. I see it every single day in my Brotherhood. We have over 10,000 members. And I'm always hearing, well, I'm not doing this, and I'm not losing this weight, and how come my goal was this weight, and I didn't hit it, and this and that. And meanwhile, their body's completely transforming. They don't even see it because your head's down, looking at the scale, and not up, looking at the results that are happening, not feeling the results that are happening. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to let the podcast episode continue through because, again, this is a coaching call. So you're going to be live on a coach. Well, not live. This is from a live coaching call that we had a few weeks ago. but it's so powerful. The information is so important that whether you're using my program or not, when you are embarking on a fitness program, these are the things you should be using to track your results and to ensure that you're on the right path, to motivate you to ensure that you're getting on the right path and you're doing the things right and you're getting the results that you're looking for. So please, thank you so much for listening to this intro, but now enjoy the podcast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to all the brothers who are in the house and all the new brothers who are starting or in the 30-day challenge or what have you. Very great to see you on here. And today, like I said, we're going to talk about the best ways to track your results, why it's so important to do this, and why you will eventually not use that scale. The scale will be gone in your life eventually, not at first, but eventually. But first, we got a couple announcements. Just to let you guys know, as this week we have our joint pain, complete joint pain stack. We have a promo going on right now. Joint 25 will get you 25% off this stack. This is my morning and evening joint pain stack. So, as we get older, specifically for myself, we have more joint pain, some arthritis, I've got arthritis in my knees. And of course, as we get older, just, the joints get weaker, even though we are getting stronger. And specifically now that I'm using more dumbbell workouts, I really want to protect my joints. I really want to protect, the arthritis, the joints, keep them lubricated, keep them healthy. So for me in the mornings, you guys have seen me post my morning breakfast many times. You see all the supplements I take in the morning. Alpha Joint, Joint Health is a great supplement in the morning. And this has really been a savior for me because as you guys know, I have back injuries, shoulder injuries, or bad lower back and shoulder, but I've still been working out pretty much 5 days a week because I'm testing out these dumbbell workouts. I'm shooting these dumbbell workouts. And I'm telling you, man, it's made a massive difference. And then turmeric, of course, which I take at night. So again, this is an awesome 1-2 punch to keep inflammation down for our joints. I already take omega-3s because that's in the men's daily stack. And by the way, don't buy the men's daily stack just yet. Wait till next week because we have a special promotion. So that for you guys. But in regards to this, if you have joint pain, if you and again, if you're turning up the volume in your workouts, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be a savior. This is definitely going to be a savior. Again, listen. Workouts, mobility training is key for joint pain. That's why we have recovery and mobility. Nutrition is going to be key to keeping inflammation down. But of course, once you have that in play, which I give it to you, then getting these together will be great. So I take, like I said, Alpha Joint in the morning with my men's daily health stack, and I take turmeric at night before I go to bed. Turmeric, Alpha Mag, Sleep Shred. I take all that at night, and then I take joint pain in the morning. So Joint 25, you get 25% off. Grab these. These are, I'm telling you, get this on subscription, man, because you're never going to run out. Angela even takes this now. So that's number one. Number two, here, let me just write that. Joint 25. Just go to funksupplementshop.com. But I'll send an email out later. And the second thing is Deload week. So in this program, and in any programming, you should be taking a week. I don't want to say a week off, but a deload week. Okay, a deload week, which means a week where the volume of your training is less, and you should be doing this every 90 days, at least every 90 days. Some people do it earlier, but I say 90 days. I say every 3 phases, right? So after phase 3, you should take a week off, not a week off, sorry, a deload week where you're just literally decreasing the volume of your workouts, increasing your recovery routines, and letting your body relax and reset so that you can hit the next 3 phases or the next 90 days ready to go. Lots of reasons why we need to deload. Obviously, it's good for our body. It helps us not overtrain. A lot of times when we deload, you'll still see that fat loss, you'll still see that weight loss, you'll still, the cortisol levels start to come down, everything that we want to happen, physically actually happens a lot during the deload week. And then you're ready to put back the volume in phase 4, 5, and 6, or phase 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever it is. But every 90 days or every 3 phases, you should be taking a deload week, period, 100%. That being said, before I would just tell you, hey guys, take a deload week. And then you'll be like, well, what does a deload week mean? What do I do? What workouts do I do? What workouts don't I do? So finally, I stepped up to the plate. And this is what it did. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see. And then I'm going to also send you guys the link to this page. I'm going to send you a link to this page during when I send out the replay. I'm just letting this load up here. The reason why is because we're still adding it to the Over 40 Brotherhood and on the app. That'll be up this week. But let me just share my screen quickly so you can see what it looks like. So this is our deload. Can you guys see my screen here? Yeah, just give me a thumbs up. Nick? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so this is the alpha deload week. So like I said before, the week is, deload is temporary reduction of weekly stress, training stress to give your body and your mind a break from hard training. The deload properly, so to deload properly for us, our Over 40 alpha deload, we're gonna have 2 body weight circuits and 3 yoga flows. And like I said, deload should be taken every 12 weeks to 3 phases. Okay, and there's just some information here. So basically, the deload week will look like this. On a Monday, you'll do the hip flexibility, mobility with V-Fine, Veronica, which is great because a lot of times our hips are tight, right? We have tight hips. When you have tight hips, that puts a lot of brunt on your knees, on your lower back, on your movement. So sometimes people think they have knee issues or knee problems. That's because their hips are tight, right? Their core does not engage. It's not the knees that your problem is. It's everything else. It's not being mobile, not being flexible. So this is what you're going to do on day 1. On day 2, you're going to go with the fat loss body weight workout. It's a 20-minute workout. Here's the demo, and here's the follow along. So it's about a 20-minute workout. It's a fat loss workout. It's the same workout, but it's shot in 2 different places. But it's round 1 is in one place, round 2 is in another place. Wednesday, you're going to go to a core strength because a lot of times we don't use the core strength mobility flow. So you'll just do the core strength mobility flow. Again, you're just keeping everything strong, but it's a good yoga flow. On Thursday or day 4, you'll do a follow along workout. It's a 21-minute total body workout. So again, you get a workout in. Friday, you'll do a cardio flow. So again, it's still yoga, but it's a little advanced flow. So you're still getting, the volume is not as heavy. You're still working out. You're still doing things. You're still active. But again, it's not workouts. Then on Saturday, you'll rest and repair, and Sunday, away you go. So there's no daily emails for this. There's no like, oh, do I have to put my email in? You guys are grown men. You just come in on Monday, you do, or day 1, because some people, their Tuesday is day 1 or their Friday is day 1. I'm not sure what day 1 is yours, but if it is on a Monday or day 1, you'll just follow this, and it will be in the app. I'm not sure. It may be there right now. I'm not sure. I know that Sarah, who takes care of our app, just had another chemo session 2 days ago. So I'm not sure where she's at, but I'll let you guys know. So there it is. It's your deload week. I'll send you that link. It will be in the Over 40 Brotherhood. It will be under bonuses. It'll be the very first link under bonus. So that's where we'll be on here, and then in the on the app. It may even be there. I'm not sure, but on the app, I think I said I'm going to put it under the home page. Let me check here. Okay, so it will be under the home section of the app. So there you have it. That's the deload week. So now you guys have something exactly to know what to use. Is that in the bonus? Yeah, it will be in the bonus. Yeah, so now you know what to do on your deload week. And I will change that up too. So for instance, I'm right now doing some mobility certification. I'm going to be creating some awesome mobility flows that will be more than just the yoga flexibility stuff that I'll be uploading. So that will also change too. So that's it. And I will send that link out to you. So for anyone who's on a deload week, this is perfect for you. All right, let's get to. All right, so let's talk about the best ways to track and why it's important. So first of all, during this your journey, your fitness journey, your weight loss journey, your testosterone production journey, whatever it is so important that we document our fitness journey, right? Because as we begin our quest to get healthy, we need to document exactly what we're doing, what the results are from the work that we're putting in, right? So sometimes people will come up to me like, yeah, man, I've been working out, I've been eating, but I just, I still can't lose weight, or I still can't do this. Well, what exactly are you eating? What exactly are you doing? What exactly, are you not doing? What are your workouts? What are your, and they can't tell me. They can't, they're, oh yeah, I kind of eat healthy. I eat vegetables, I eat salads. Like, no, 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 no. You gotta give me some information. And you also have to know, because if you're just willy-nillying it, like we all have in the past, willy-nillied it, kind of like, oh yeah, I'm just going to the gym here and there. I kind of work out here. I'm kind of, kind of, sort of, is not going to get us where we need to go, right? And it's not going to keep us accountable. It's not going to get us results. We've all been there, right? We need a plan. We need a plan. But once we get that plan, in order for us to keep on that plan, in order for us to be sustainable, in order for us to continue down to getting results, we need to track our results. We need to, to document our fitness experience, and also will help us to understand what things we were doing that worked and what things we were doing that didn't work, and what was going on in those weeks when, things went awry or things were amazing, right? We can always touch back on that throughout our journey. So being able to track where you're at, how you're doing, will keep you accountable, right? So again, just the reason why I send out the weekly accountability charts, right? There is an example on there that's the same example every time, and it's not something that you have to follow. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get that behavior of making you accountable, and plan, and so that you can plan your week, right? Plan what's going on this week, plan what's happening, what should you be prepared for? What are some of your goals? It may not be lose 1 pound or 2 pounds or 3 pounds. A lot of times that shouldn't be your goal for a week. It should be more like, oh, I want to make sure I get all of these workouts in, or I want to make sure that I increase the weight in this, or I want to make sure that, I go a little bit more strict on my nutrition plan, whatever it is. If you keep doing that, like I do that, and I'm gonna start posting mine, it just prepares you for the week and ensures that, if anything does go, sideways, at least you had a plan and you can veer off that plan if you need to. But having a plan, basically what that will do, or will put priority, right? Like, okay, guys, from 9 till 10 in the morning, I'm busy. You can't connect with me. I'm not checking my emails. I'm not doing whatever because I'm working out, right? Like, you have to prioritize. Keep your fitness, your health, your workouts have to be like a business meeting, like whatever it is, something that you have to prioritize. That, okay, this is it. I'm shutting everything else down. You don't have your phone with you. You don't have any of that. I always have to tell Angela, throw your phone away, man. Not during our workouts. Shouldn't even be checking your phone during the workouts, because then now your mind's not focused on where you are. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but again, it keeps you accountable, right? When you're under a strict routine and you continue to track your fitness goals, it'll help you work to achieve your more goals, and it will set yourself up for success, specifically in every week you're planning on what you're going to do and what could come up. Also, you're going to know your progress, right? It's very important to assess your fitness journey to make sure it's paying off, right? You're putting in all this hard work, you have the nutrition, you're doing everything. And if you have no clue about of some of the tracking that you need to do, you can't assess where your journey is. You can't assess what's working and what's not working, right? What areas do you need improvement? What areas do you need to make changes in your workouts, your nutrition, and your sleep? If you're not tracking, you can't, it's very difficult to progress, right? You need to compare. Tracking is great for comparison. Remember, I always tell you guys, what you see today is not who you're going to be in 3 months and 6 months. No matter where you're at, you're going to be a different person, whether it's your fitness level, whether it's your body composition, whether it's weight loss, whether it's testosterone increase, whether it's your mindset. Today, you're going to be totally different. No, not totally, but you're going to be a different person. You're always leveling up here. We are always leveling up. Leveling up in our health and fitness will level up everywhere else in our life. So, but it's very good to compare where you were before and after. I'm telling you guys, I've asked a couple of times. I think I tried to post something and it didn't post, but I've asked you guys to post a before and after picture. Sorry, a before and your current picture. in the brotherhood, and I want you to talk about what you're proud of. Okay, so post in your whenever you were in your worst shape, whether it was before you started this program or even before, and a picture of you, today, or take a picture in the morning, flexing. And I want you to look at those two pictures. Then I want you to think about what you're proud of, because a lot of times we don't sit in the this is where I was and this is where I am now, and wow, man, I've come a long way. Even if it's a long way or this way, this much, it's still progression. And we need to tap ourselves on the back, because we're always thinking about the next thing. Okay, I got to lose this weight. I got to do this. I got to do that. And we don't sit in the, oh my God, man, I've come really far. Like, so even when I did this, I posted it in the Facebook group. I posted 3 different times throughout the last 12 years when I've had to, whether it was almost dying, whether it was when I actually started this program when I was 39 and I hit rock bottom, when I was 215 and all the other stuff, or when I had that knee injury that ballooned me up to 30 pounds plus a couple years ago. All of those times I had to transform my body and transform my health. And sometimes I never even think about that, right? Like my wife and I were talking about, hey man, did you realize that you literally were on your deathbed, you were dying, you had to take prednisone for 7 months, it was horrible, and look at where you are now, look at where you are today. Like, do you ever think you would be here today? And it's like, wow, man, that's totally incredible. And I sat back and I looked at that progression and really was proud of myself. Even though I'm at this level, I see a lot of guys in my fitness industry who they don't talk the talk. They don't walk the walk. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Very few do. So I want you guys to be proud of whatever your journey so far. Again, it's not going to be the same, right? You post that picture, you're going to see another picture 3 or 4 months down the road, but please post it, because when you can post that and be proud of it, to us as your brothers, for you, it keeps you accountable. It makes you proud and keeps you motivated. And for us, like when I read those, it feeds me. It continues to feed me. The more even little tiny changes I see in you guys, it feeds me to continue on this journey. So please take time to do that. Please take time to put that in there. And it keeps you motivated too. When you track and you can see, oh my God, look at my body fat percentage went down by 2. Oh my God, my testosterone levels went up by 100. Oh man, this belt buckle, I have to now put another belt buckle into this. Oh man, I'm looking at these pictures. Look at the cuts in my arms. Oh man, I can see a little bit more definition. Okay, this is working. That keeps you motivated, man. It keeps you going because you can see the changes no matter how little it is, and it helps you to follow the plan, right? I always say this program here is a journey. It's a marathon. It's a lifestyle. It is not a sprint. It is not something that some people see massive results in 30 days. I've seen guys lose 20 pounds in 30 days, many times, 7 pounds, 10 pounds, 12 pounds. I see it all the time. But then obviously you're going to lose weight right away. And then, 2 months down, it's like, I lost 12 pounds last month. How come I only lost 1 pound this month? Well, hey, because we're working on muscle building, which muscle it weighs more, is more dense. We're doing different things, but your body is still changing. That's why the scale, we got to throw that scale away. The whole point is, it keeps you on that plan when you can see the progress that's happening. And it is a marathon. This is a lifestyle. You got 24 months of programming, and you're probably going to have another 12. So that's 3 years of workouts, 3 years of programming. Where else can you know that you're going to get different workouts every single month? And you know that day 1, you're going to change from day 10. You're going to change from day 30. You can change from day 120. You're always changing. You're always getting better as long as you put the plan into place. So let's talk about tracking your results. What are the most important factors that you need to do when tracking? So number 1 is going to be taking your body measurements. That's number 1. Everyone should have done that, or should just do it if you haven't. Right off the bat, grabbing a measure, one of those measuring tapes, take your chest, your waist, your thighs, your biceps. That's pretty much it. For guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, you can go deeper and go with the neck and freaking, all your calves and all of that stuff. But generally, that's not going to tell you too much, right? I think just having some main chest, waist, thighs, biceps, or arms, I should say. Those are key. And your starting weight. Jump on the scale and see where you're starting or see where you're at today, right? And that's basically tracking those body measurements are key because the measurements are tangible, right? You can actually see the measurements. You can actually see the progress, right? Your improvements in your actual body size, depending. And some people, it's going to be to get smaller. Some people, it's going to get bigger. So when you take those biceps, if you have a lot of fat, it may be, okay, I want to make these biceps. So I want to lose some fat here. So I want these to get smaller. Meanwhile, there's other people who, oh no, I want to grow 22-inch biceps. So I'm going to take this measurement here or the chest measurements or whatever, right? I have in the Brotherhood program, I have a video that shows you guys how to track how to take measurements. So I'll send that out to you guys as well. So yeah, it's literally, I break it down video by video. So it's very easy for you guys to track and measure. So I will send that out to you guys as well. But yeah, definitely taking your measurements at first for sure. And then what I like to do with measurements when you first start. So if you're in phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3, or just starting a program, taking those measurements every 4 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks. So every 2 to 4 weeks, you take those measurements. Again, we want to give your body a chance to change. And when you're first starting the program, I like for you to take the measurement on day 1 and then the day 28. So at the end of the phase, that's going to give you that true measurement change. Now, if you're in the latter stages of this program, or phase 4, 5, 6, whatever, and depending on your goal, let's say that your goal is to build 22-inch biceps, and maybe every 2 weeks you're going to want every 2 weeks you're going to want to take that to make sure that you're on the right journey, right? Are things changing? Are things still the same? What's happening? So again, take your body measurements. At least if you have never done it, just do it so you see where you're at. Remember, you're not always going to be the same, right? Things are going to change, but take it. I will send that link so everyone has a chance to take it in. It's a good practice. It's good practice. All right. So that's number 1. That's the number 1 thing, by the way. Okay. That's the number 1 thing. So start there. Number 2, testosterone levels and hormones. This program, because we are over 40, is based on naturally increasing our testosterone levels. We already know, the importance of testosterone, and we already know where our bodies are at when it comes to hormones. Generally speaking, when most guys come in this program, if you have belly fat and if you have man boobs, then your estrogen levels are high and your testosterone levels are low. And when your testosterone levels are low, you can't lose weight. It's very difficult to lose weight. It's very difficult to burn fat, belly fat. It's very difficult to build muscle. You have a host of health issues when your testosterone levels are low, a host of health issues. Your libido obviously is going to be down. Your confidence is going to be down. Your energy levels are down. Your overall mental state is down when your testosterone levels are low. Do not let anyone else tell you this. Testosterone is our number 1 male hormone, and we need to get it up to 800, 100% in our 40s, 50s, 60s. You guys know as well that when we reach the age of 30, our testosterone levels naturally decrease 1 to 2% every year. So now by the time we're at 40, we're in disarray because we don't know why it's so hard to burn fat, why it's so hard to get rid of this belly, why do I feel depressed, why don't I have any energy, why am I getting high blood pressure, pre-diabetic, all of these things. When if we can, and the other thing is, of course, with all of the testosterone being low, that means our estrogen levels are way too high, our cortisol levels are high, our insulin levels are all over the place, our thyroid levels are low, so we can't burn fat. So super important to get that testosterone levels checked. And every 3 months, we're checking our T levels. Not even a question. This dad bod, I'm about to go on live television tomorrow to talk about how we have to banish the dad bod and that mentality, because the dad bod is killing us. The dad bod means we have too much estrogen. The dad bod means we're setting ourselves up for health issues and for failure. Yes, we do need, when we do have a newborn baby, our estrogen levels naturally increase, but that's not something that we have to celebrate or keep, because in order for us to be super fathers, we need to have our testosterone, BT, the breakfast television. In order for us to be super fathers, super parents, super dads, we need to have our T levels high so we can be confident, so we can have the energy, and so that we can be healthy for our family, our children, our wives, etc. So this dad bod thing is not cool at all. It's not cool, and we're gonna get rid of that stuff very, very, very shortly. Anyway, so I just went on that rant there because the whole point I'm trying to make is testosterone production. That's what we need, testosterone production. So get that checked, and get it checked every 3 months, because again, we can say, oh yeah, I wake up every morning and I got this and that, but we need to get that T level check. We need to get it up to 800, and this program helps you naturally increase it so that we can continually have a goal to reach. Don't let your to reach. So T levels number 2. Number 3, body fat percentage. This is another extremely important tracking measurement. We need to track our body fat percentage because this is also going to be key to success. Our body fat percentage when it comes to testosterone production should be between 14 and 8%. That is the ideal body fat percentage for testosterone production. If your body fat percentage is too high, then it's gonna hamper your testosterone production. So we need to get that body fat percentage in that little zone. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It's something that we strive for. And that's why in phase number 1, the goal is to get the body fat percentage down as low as possible. And then we continue through all the phases where we'll continue to keep getting that body fat percentage down. But we don't know our body fat percentage unless we measure it. And again, this is why, we'll talk about the scale in a second, but body fat percentage is more important than what is on that scale, because you may be, I tell the story all the time. Now that I know that I'm 183 pounds, my neighbor weighs, actually he was weighing 185. And if you looked at both of us, you would never know that, we weigh the same, because he is 185. We're the same height, but he's got a belly. He's also got man breasts still to this day. I'm 185 or 183 now, and I'm lean. I've got a 6-pack, whatever. We both weigh the exact same. We both are the same height, but our body composition is totally different. His, body fat percentage is probably in the 20s. Mine's, 10, and the health, the look, totally different. So when you step on that scale, even though we weigh the same, our body composition, our body fat percentage is totally different, completely different. So we got to focus on trying to measure that body fat percentage and keeping that front and center. So doing that every month is good. You don't have to do it all the time. It's just something that every month or every 2 weeks you can check on that body fat percentage and try to make sure that it's going down, that it's decreasing. Some months may decrease faster than other months, but the less body fat we have and the more muscle we have, the more metabolic we're going to be, and the better our testosterone levels are going to produce. Now, anything under 8%, 8 actually is at the cusp. I mean, that's super, super lean, but anything under that, and you're going to be blocking testosterone production. So 14 to 8 is a very good range to stay within. Sometimes you're going to be 14 one month, you may be 17 another month, and so on and so forth. But stay within that range. It's a very healthy range too for us men. Okay, so number 4. So let's go back just quickly. Body measurements number 1, testosterone levels number 2, and hormones. So free testosterone, total testosterone versus estrogen, estradiol. Those are things that you should be getting. But number 1, just get that testosterone first. Get it first. Number 3, body fat percentage. Again, there's a video showing you how to use body fat calipers. They're super, super cheap. Or if you have, access to these high-level body fat scans, those are great too. Please don't use the body fat, whatever it is on your scale. Okay. Don't use that. That is way off. Focus, just go buy the freaking calipers for $3 or $10 from Amazon and use it and learn how to use it. Okay. These are tools that we're going to be using for the rest of our lives. So don't use the thing it's totally off. Go get it. Go get it. It's very inexpensive. Exactly. And then of course, weekly photos. Oh, weekly photos. Number 4 is weekly photos. My favorite. This is probably for me should be the number 1 real measurement that everyone should take should be your weekly photos and seeing the progression of your body composition through weekly photos. Of course, the measurements are key. Obviously, they're super important. That's why this is number one. But weekly photos are so important. You don't have to show them to everybody, but this is an amazing way to see your body change, to see your body composition change. It'll show you all the changes that a lot of that measurements, body fat, and the scale can't show you, right? It can't; those things can't show you that, like I say, you're getting the cut here or a little bit more chest development or a little bit more abs coming or whatever it is. Measurements, body fat, and scale don't really show you that. But when you take pictures on a weekly basis, you will be able to see, oh man, look, I can see a little bit coming, right? Again, you're working so hard, your nutrition, your workouts, your recovery. You want to see progression. And a lot of people just get focused on that scale. And that's all they think about. They don't see what's in front of them, right? They don't remember I talked about the 185 guy. If we were both focused on the scale and he's like, yeah, I just want to be 185 pounds. It's all, I'm trying to get down to 185. And then I look at him and I'm like, man, what, dude, you totally are. You still have high estrogen. You still have low testosterone. You're pre-diabetic. You got to 185 because you were doing this the whole time, which is looking at the scale instead of doing this. Oh, okay. I can see the difference. So taking those weekly photos, and seeing your results and seeing how you're tracking and seeing what's developing in your body is so, oh my God, it's so valuable, so valuable. I do it all the time. And I tell you guys, you don't have to post it, but just take it. Don't be afraid. You need to, if you're just starting this program, and God bless all of the guys who post their before pictures, because I always tell you guys, what you look at today will not be what you're going to look like in 30 days. It will not be, because if you put this program to play, you will not look like that. So put it up there so you go, okay, guys, look, this is where I'm at right now. These are my goals. I need your support and help, because I know that in 30 days, I'm not going to look like this. And then in 60 days, I'm not going to look like this. And in 90 days, I'm not going to look like this. That's the mindset that we need to have. You're not going to be the same person, the way you look, your health, that you are going to be 6 months down the road. But you have to track that. You have to see it. You have to see it for yourself. You have to motivate yourself. And that's why when guys, I love when I watch guys post there like, okay, it's after phase one, here's my picture. I don't see any changes. And then all of us will go in and we're like, are you kidding me? Can you see that this is there? You have better chest. You got this and that. Because sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes we're so blinded by what we looked like before, we can't see the changes. So posting it in the Brotherhood will actually give you a little bit more insight on, hey, you're actually making changes, brother. We're seeing it here. You're doing the right thing. So taking those pictures every single week, believe me, same time in the morning. Actually, I'll go back and tell you the best time to take all of these measurements in a second, but taking pictures, weekly pictures, shirt off, and the very first picture that you ever take when you start a program, yes, you can take it with your belly out and kind of like showing the worst you are. But every other picture, please take it like a little bit of a flex, show some muscle, show your hard work, show what's actually happening to your body, right? Don't just, lay back and take an after picture. You're making changes, so you gotta show those changes, right? Like, you're not okay, I just want to take it exactly the way I took it. No, you're making changes. So me, I'm very stickler to this. Crunch over, flex your core, take that picture, right? Take that picture, be proud. And again, sometimes you may see a big change, and other times you may not. Number 5 is clothing. Clothing. This is another big one. Specifically, if you're getting into a program, there's always, pants or shirts or a t-shirt that you always want to fit into, or you used to fit into, or this is my go-to shirt, man. This was my go-to shirt. Now when I put it on, it kind of sits on my stomach, or I can barely get it on. Now it's like it's a tighty. No, you know what I mean? So when you have a piece of clothing that you can use, or your belt buckle has been something that a lot of guys use. They're like, hey man, now I have to like add another notch to my belt buckle. Those are amazing indication, depending on what your goal is, if it's weight loss or fat loss or what have you, that you're making results, right? Keep that one piece of clothing that you used to fit into. and this I'm gonna fit into these jeans, or I'm gonna fit into these shorts, I'm gonna fit into this shirt, or whatever it is, just as an indicator of using clothing. Clothing is another big tracking measurement. Huge. A lot of guys have to completely change their wardrobe in this program. Like I've done that. I've had to actually completely change my wardrobe. When I was getting leaner, it's like, okay, I want to look a little bit different. I want to look better. I want to dress better. I want to dress more fashionable. Even if that we're older, doesn't mean we have to hang on to the 1980s. The 80s are gone. The 90s are gone, guys. We're in 2020. We need to start dressing with pride and just with pride and confidence, right? Wearing baggy clothes, that ain't dressing with pride and confidence. That's not the alpha man. We got to dress to impress all the time, no matter where we are. And you may think that's a yeah, whatever. That's not me, Funk. I'm not that guy. Well, guess what? You are now. You are. Remember, we're always changing. You are the dress to impress guy. You are the guy when people look at you, are like, man, I can't believe, you look good, man. Look at the way you're dressed. You got a great haircut. Look at that. Ooh, look at the shirt, nice and fitted. I'm telling you, people will respect you more. People will respect that you're putting time into yourself, because that means you're going to put time into whatever you're doing for them, with them, or what have you. So I'm trying to get this one amazing stylist on the show, on the podcast, to help us with how to dress to impress, not only for ourselves, but for our wives, for our girlfriends. I mean, I always think about Joe Scale, who came into this program in his 60s, I believe, or late 50s. Man, when he started, he was a wreck. He was a wreck. I think he was just newly divorced. If you look at his before picture, it was unbelievable. Then 3 or 4 months later, the guy's dressing in suits. He's got the nice hair. He's lost all this weight. And he's got a new girlfriend. It's unbelievable. It's like it's a whole different person, right? It's one of those great success stories that when you feel good, when you're working hard, you want to look good. So clothes are different. Yes, clothes are definitely a good indicator. And then another one of the last, well, second to last clothing, second to last, number 6, is the improvement in your strength, the improvement in your conditioning, right? Like how, when I first started this program, I could only do 5 push-ups. When I first started this program, I could barely get through the 30 seconds of work. When I first started this program, I couldn't do any of the ab and core. When I first started this program, I could barely press 20 pounds for 45 seconds. Now I'm not stopping with the push-ups. I'm crushing funk in every of the intervals. I'm lifting heavier. My cardio and conditioning is better. I'm getting through these workouts better. I'm more mobile. I'm stronger. I can do lunges. Those are massive indicators of your success through a program. Right there. All of those physical improvements. Right, improvements in strength, improvements in conditioning, improvements in endurance, improvements in other things that you can do that you never were able to do before because of you're leading a healthy lifestyle. Tracking those as well. You may not have the actual numbers, but if you sit back and like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, I just finished this. After after the end of the last phase, you should always think back at where you started in an exercise and where you finished, because here's the thing, and there's another thing I just like to say. If you're starting in phase 1 or phase 10 or whatever it is, and it's week 1 and you do an exercise and you can barely get through, that the very next time you do that exercise, you better not stop at the same rep range. You better try to improve, push yourself, go faster, go heavier, or whatever it is. You don't want to just settle in the fact that, oh yeah, I'm just doing the exact same way I did it last week. No, we want to improve. But there's no way in week 1 of a phase that you should be doing the exact same rep range and cadence that you did in phase in week 1. Like, that's got to change. It has to change. Maybe not every single exercise, but it's got to change. So that means you got to push yourself in those exercises. Right? You got to push yourselves to be more intense. It's a very short workout. It's all about intensity. As fast as you can, as many reps as possible with whatever, if it's weight or if it's movement. So tracking that will be key. Tracking your improvements in strength and in conditioning and cardio. Finally, the last thing is the scale. So this is where this is it. This is the big one. The scale. So the scale is probably one of the it is definitely the first thing people use, 100%. It's the first thing everyone uses. It's the most popular thing everyone uses. It's literally the only indicator that most people use when it comes to weight loss, fat loss, and getting into shape. They don't think about all the other 6 things that we just went through. They just step on that scale. And in phase 1 or a 30-day challenge or the first phase of this program, 100% you should look at that scale, because you're coming in either 100 pounds overweight or 60 pounds overweight or whatever it is. So you should look at that scale to see where you're at. And then at the end of the phase, check the scale. Not every week, not every day, maybe every 2 weeks, maybe after week 2 you can see, but definitely not every week, because you're setting yourself up for failure. 1,000,000%. I see it. I mean, we've seen it. If you're in the Facebook group, you see it all the time. People post, how come I lost 5 pounds last week, I only lost 1 pound this week. I'm frustrated. I'm not losing weight, blah, 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 blah. When they don't realize that there is so many factors that go into the scale. Okay. In fact, you could gain 10 pounds easily in one day. In one day, you could step on that scale in the morning and step on that scale at night and gain 10 pounds, or you can lose 10 pounds. Why do we know? Well, I think I just saw Larry on this call. Maybe he's gone. But fighters, when we are helping fighters cut weight, some fighters cut 20 pounds in a day easily. And then right after they cut that weight, they put it back on. They put back even more. In fact, when I work for the UFC, one of my roles is I take the fighters' weights on fight night. So we do the weigh-ins, obviously, right? And fighters try to hit weight. But then when they come to the arena at night for their fight or whenever the fight is, I take all their weights. So I know I have a whole freaking I have a litany of fighter weights from fights that I've done where I can see that one fighter weighed in at 185, but when they showed up at the fights, they were 215, they're 220, right? That's a lot of weight in one day to put back on, right? So that's why that's one reason why the scale, the fact that you can put on that much weight, but there's so many other indicators that affect the scale. Food, what did you eat that day, right? If you're or the day before, if you step on the scale at nighttime, right? And maybe yesterday you stepped on the scale in the morning and you weighed 185, and now the next day you step on the scale. Oh, I forgot to step on the scale. I just finished a workout, which that's another horrible time to step on the scale. After a workout, it's a horrible time because your body's holding on to water, specifically didn't drink enough. So now you're stepping on the scale after a workout. You think you're sweating. You think, oh yeah, well, I've sweated, so I should weigh less. No, man, after the workout is not the best time to be stepping on a scale. So now you're stepping on the scale, you weigh 190. I'm like, what happened? I did everything Funk said. Yesterday I was 180.85 in the morning. Today I'm 190 at 6 p.m. What's going on? Well, what did you eat? Are you stress? Well, how much water have you drank? The timing has a lot to do with it. Your muscle growth has a lot to do with it. So relying on that scale is literally setting you up for failure. The only people who should rely on a scale are athletes or someone who is in a weight like weight has to do with their sport. They have to weigh a certain weight, like wrestlers, fighters, whatever it is, right? Or athletes for whatever reason. But no one else should be really focusing on the scale. Yes, the scale should be used as a guide. That's why every month you can step on that scale. But if you're stepping on the scale every day, twice a week, you're literally setting yourself up for being super frustrated, because like I said, there's so many different aspects that the scale, it doesn't show you. It won't show your body composition. It won't show what you look like. It won't show the water retention. Maybe you've retained water. It doesn't show the stress levels that you've been going throughout the day that increases your cortisol levels, which increase body fat. It doesn't show the workout that you did that may cause you to gain a little bit of weight during that time. All of that stuff the scale doesn't show when you step on it. So you need to use the scale the right way. Use the scale the right way. Number one, so with all of these things, with the scale, with the clothing, with the pictures, with the body fat percentage, Everything should be done first thing in the morning before you're eating, and after you go to the washroom, and just in your gitch, in your underwear. That's it. That's the only time you should be stepping on that scale, right? Or any of these other things. But really, the scale in the morning, because that is going to be your truest weight, because there's no other indicators um, that can affect it as much, right? Because you just finished sleeping, so you're dehydrated. You don't have any water, so don't drink water. You haven't eaten anything in whatever hours, so that's going to be less of an effect. So that's going to be the best time to weigh yourself. First thing in the morning, before you eat, after going to the washroom, sit down, and that's going to be your weight. And then if you're going to step on the scale, you step on the scale the same day at the same time the next time you do it. So if you're in phase 1, 2 weeks down the road, you do it. If it was a Saturday morning that you stepped on that scale at 7 a.m., then guess what you're doing? Saturday morning, 7 a.m., 2 weeks down the road, you're stepping on the scale, exact same way, exact same clothing, if you want to have that true weight. And then you can start to see what's going on. And then after the final day of phase 1 or the 30-day challenge, you do it again, and you can see that progress. And then after phase 1, you should generally be stepping on the scale once a month. Even if you have, I'm just going to give you the best case, once a month, because if you continue to focus on the scale being your number one indicator, like I said, it's going to set you up for failure. Even if you have 100 pounds to lose, even if you have 150 pounds to lose, or 200 pounds or 80 pounds to lose, once a month is going to give you a good indicator of how much you've lost, right? All the other things that we've been talking about will give you a better tracking indicator, right? Now, there are some people who understand how to use the scale. Some people know that, okay, I know that maybe I want to weigh myself every 2 weeks, knowing that the scale is going to be the last thing I focus on, right? It's going to be the last thing that I really focus. I just want to see my weight. I'm just kind of like curious. After every 2 weeks, I'm going to step on that scale. I'm going to look at the weight. Okay, and then I can assess, what did I do the night before? What did I, because sometimes even if you had a big guilt-free meal, definitely if you have a guilt-free meal, don't take your weight the next day. That's the worst time to take your weight, after a guilt-free meal the night before, because you've just put a ton of calories into your body, and now you're going to weigh the next morning, right? So there's really, you got to be very careful with the scale and how you use it. And then once you know where you're starting, and again, I'm really only talking about the people who are in really phase 1, because in phase 2, which is muscle building, you know that, well, you may not know, but muscle is denser than fat, so muscle will weigh more. So now you're in phase 2. You just finished losing 10 pounds in phase 1, and you're looking through this whole phase through, stepping on the scale every week, and the scale is not moving. You're like, dude, what is happening? I've hit a plateau. I hear that all the time. I hit a plateau, Funk. 4 weeks, I haven't lost weight. Well, what phase are you in? I'm in phase 2. Well, yeah, you didn't hit a plateau. Have you looked at your body fat percentage? Have you looked at the pictures? Have you seen that you're building more muscle? Because muscle is denser, and muscle is more metabolic. So the more muscle you have, the more metabolic you're going to be, which means the more fat you're going to burn. There's the body fat percentage. So body fat percentage comes down as your muscle goes up, right? Lean muscle goes up. So that's why that scale is got to be used the right way. And like I say, phase 1, sure, if you want to get on the scale every 2 weeks, cool. But after that, every month, and push, and then having weight goals. Again, listen, I understand it. We have to set goals. I totally understand it. You come in the program, let's say you're 220 pounds, and you're like, okay, I want to be 180. I want to be 180. I want to be my college weight, 190. I'm like, well, okay, that's great. I'm glad you have set this 190 goal. That's going to be a floating goal. Okay. That's not going to be our hard goal, because A, you're not in college anymore. Okay. So your body's going to be totally different from your college weight of 190. And B, 190 is going to look totally different. You may get to 200 and be shredded and go, why do I want to go down to 190? When 200, I feel healthy. My T levels are high. I'm more mobile. I'm strong. I've got my 6-pack, if that's what you want. And I feel great. Why do I want to go down to 190? So, because again, when you get focused on making a weight goal, you are literally focused on hitting that weight. Meanwhile, you're feel the best, in best shape, you look the best at 190, and now you're pushing yourself to 180, where you start to look gaunt, you start to not feel good. It's like, wow, man, why did I want to go to 180? You can start with I want to lose, and even the I want to lose 20 pounds or 30 pounds. Again, at first, yes, you can start with a plan. I already know that that's not going to be the goal, the weight you're going to hit, because you're going to look different. You're going to feel different. You don't know what you don't know. How do you know what you're going to look like at 180? How do you know what you're going to look at 180, 60? And there's no like ideal freaking weight either. So when people come to me with, oh, what's the ideal weight? I'm 5'10", and how much should I weigh? Dude, like I just told you, that looks 185 over my neighbor looks different from 185 here. There's no freaking ideal weight for your height or whatever. Your ideal weight is going to be how you feel, how you look, how your hormones are, how your weight, your body composition are. Are you happy? Are you healthy? That's your ideal. Not, okay, I'm 6'4", so I have to weigh 185 or 190 or whatever that is. So again, all of those things are out there. Well, they're out there they are out there to provide information, but a lot of that stuff is from 1920, and it's not something we need to be focused on. Okay, it's not something we need to be focused on. It's too much information, and it pigeonholes us in a place where we don't need to be thinking about. We need to be thinking about all these other things. So don't get caught up. Now, I know there are guys that are just that type of person. Yeah, I know, Funk, you said that, but I'm a BMI guy. I'm a calorie counter. I got to know these things. Dude, you're setting yourself. You don't have to be that guy anymore. Okay. You don't have to be, you're not that guy anymore. You're 40, 50, 60, 70. You're not that guy anymore. You don't need to be that person anymore. Or if you are that person, please understand that there are the other more important ways to track your progress. Number one, take your body measurements. And again, once you take it once, maybe every month, and then after a while, you're generally not going to take your body measurements too much, because you're going to look at your pictures to give you an indicator of what your body looks like and where you want to go. Number two, testosterone levels, hormone levels. Got to get that checked. There's not even a question. It's not even a question. Our testosterone levels are at its lowest in modern day history. Men, with all this advancement, all men's testosterone levels are super low, and it is causing major health issues, causing major suicides, causing major depression in men over 40. And it's our testosterone levels. That's number one. When that changes, everything else changes. You have the confidence to get to do things that will help with mental health issues and other things, your health, your family. So T levels and our hormones are key, but just get those T levels done, so at least you know where you're starting. Number three, body fat percentage. Like I said before, your body fat percentage, you could be 190 pounds, 10% body fat. You could be 190 pounds and 30% body fat, and both be the exact same height, right? And now, and you still, the scale says 190, but how come my T levels are low? How come I got this belly? And I'm 190. I got my weight. No, it's body fat percentage. Let's get to 14 to 8%, because we want to make sure that our testosterone levels, our testosterone production is at its optimal, and that's between 14 and 8%. So every 2 weeks, and then every month after phase one. Weekly photos, weekly. Take those weekly. Get in front of, no one else has to know. Nobody has to know. You can put it in an album on your phone, make an album on your phone so that doesn't show up, and just put weekly photos, right? Weekly photos. Take that photo, and then, look at your progress. Every month, take a look at, on June 1st, I took this photo. On June 30th, this is the last weekly photo. Let's see the difference. Let's see where I need to work on, or things going the way they are, or, I'm happy with the changes that are continuing to happen. Number 5, clothing, right? Use clothing. Use a piece of clothing as your indicator. Use that belt buckle as the indicator, if that is the goal, right? Because sometimes people's goal is not to lose weight; it's to build muscle. Maybe it's to make that puffy shirt or flimsy shirt a little bit tighter, because now you want to have that tight t-shirt so that you can show off the biceps during the summer, as opposed to the t-shirt being flimsy, right? Whatever it is, using clothing is a great indicator. One piece of clothing. And then also look back at your progress after every 4 weeks at the end of the phase. How did I do that phase? Was I able to do more push-ups? Was I able to do more squats? Right? Is my squat getting better? Am I getting deeper into the squat? Are my lunges better? Now I can do lunges without having that knee pain. Now I'm going deeper in my lunges. Those are now my conditioning. Now I can get through 30 seconds without stopping. Now I can get through 40 seconds. Maybe I only stopped once in the 30 seconds instead of twice. Whatever it is, those indicators are great ways to show that you're improving in your strength and in your conditioning, that measurements can't tell you. And finally, the scale. Like I say, I haven't stepped on a scale in 2 months. If you are in phase 5+, you should not be stepping on that scale. Like, there's no reason to. There's no reason to be stepping on the scale, because it's now about all the other things we just talked about. All those 6 other things trump the scale. They trump it 1,000,000%. You should be, yes. Unless you are specifically preparing for a sporting event that you need to be in a weight category, you should not be. You don't need it. You don't need the scale. You definitely don't need the scale. So yes, there you go, guys. That's the 7 ways to track. If you are missing any of those, fill it in. Fill it in starting this week. If you haven't stepped on maybe you haven't stepped on a scale in 4 or 5 months, just step on the scale. Sometimes it's good to see where you're at. Okay. Here's another thing. Actually, here's one last thing. You take your picture or step on the scale first. Either or. If you go in tomorrow morning, let's say, you go, okay, I want to step on the scale and I want to see what I look like. Right. So you crunch your core, so you flex your abs, right? You take a few pictures, maybe one with you flexing, nice one, whatever it is, like take a few pictures shirtless so you can see what you look like, and then step on the scale or vice versa and see what you weigh, right? First thing in the morning, no water. So right out, you're going to be groggy. The picture's not going to look great. Who cares? Because now what you can see, okay, Ali, I'll get that number 1. Now what you're going to see is okay, this is what I look like at 183 pounds today, right? So now there's a little bit of, okay, this is where I'm okay. So this is what my body looks like right now at 183, right? Now, here's the thing. The next time you do it, maybe a month later, you do the same thing. You take the picture. You may be leaner. You may be more lean. You may be more muscular. And you step on the scale and you go, wow, I look like this and I'm still 183, or I look like this and I'm 184, or I look like this and I'm 182. You start to correlate the scale with what you look like, right? Because again, you're going to see, it's going to play tricks on your mind, but you're going to see sometimes the scale's not going to move, but your body transformation is going to be completely different. And that's why it's important to take those pictures, because your body could be changing and the scale could be moving, maybe even up. Maybe you're 185 and you're still and you're leaner. Like you're leaner, you're more muscular, and now you're gaining. The weight shows the scale shows you're 2 pounds heavier or less, right? So when you can, because I've done this so many times that I know that if I look like something, I'm probably within this weight range. Like the leaner, when I'm looking more lean, like I'm very lean right now. I'm very like not lean, but lean, muscularly lean. I'm about 183. That totally makes sense to me. That when I stepped on the scale was 183 this morning. I'm like, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense because I'm getting leaner, but I'm more muscular. So that's a good way to use that scale. No, I'm just talking about people who are like later in the phase, like phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. Start doing that. You're going to have a great connection and self-awareness of what you feel like and what your body feels like, and what the scale is. And you'll also learn to understand, okay, the scale is definitely not the number one factor, because I'm still the same weight, but my body's completely changing. So yeah, I'm just going to go back to number 1. Someone asked me what number 1 was. Number 1 is take your full body measurements. And I'm going to send the link to the measurements guide where you can track your measurements and I'm going to send the link to the deload. But anyways, that's what we should all be doing. On a monthly basis, on a weekly basis when it comes to the pictures. But that's a great way to start tracking your results. And now you can see and feel and be able to better set your goals better, and realistic goals as you move through.